My name begins with Y, and I am used to coming at the end. I had hoped with a ballot I might come slightly higher up the batting order. I think it's worth just remembering why we are having an unexpected election for a Speaker. Michael Martin resigned because he said he felt the House was at its best when it was united. And I think whoever wins this election will need a broad base of support on all sides of the House of Commons in order to take the agenda forward. What do I want? I want to see a more confident, self-assertive, outward-looking, relevant and accessible House of Commons. And for those of you with the appetite, I have set out my agenda in Power to the People, Rebuilding Parliament, written with Andrew Towery and Ken Clark, which sets out and fleshes out some of the ideas we're talking about this morning. I want to see the House regaining control of its time. Am I unique in being approached by the whips and being told there is a speaking opportunity? Code 4, nobody wants to speak in the debate. Why are we making such ineffective use of our time? And one of the ideas that I'm interested in is the opposition parties trading in their rights to have opposition half days or whole days for the right to demand a statement from the government on an issue on which they are not prepared to volunteer one. And I think that would make our agenda more topical, more relevant. We'd hold the government to account more effectively. It would also actually get more MPs in the chamber, because you will get in on a statement, likely as not, whereas if it's a half-day supply day, there may be one or two speakers on your side. So I want to re-engineer the time of the House, perhaps freeing up some time for select committees. It is absurd when select committees are taking important evidence from witnesses that there is a vote in the chamber which totally disrupts everything. And quite often, well sometimes, the vote in the chamber is some procedural ploy, much less significant than the issues being discussed upstairs. What is the role of a speaker in all of this? I think the speaker is a catalyst for reform. At times, as colleagues have said, the speaker has to remain neutral. Behind the scenes, the speaker can exercise influence, and at times, the speaker has got to exercise leadership. I think the House at the moment is bruised, I think it is defensive, and the next speaker will have to restore morale. We all have to learn lessons from what's happened, and then move on. And there is a real risk that we are taking our eye off the ball at the moment. We are not holding the government effectively to account. And Margaret and I think one other colleague mentioned the PSA, the Parliamentary Standards Authority. That bill is due to be introduced next Tuesday. The government want it through by the end of July. And I'm very worried that the line of accountability between MP and constituent is going to be blurred by a statutory code of conduct. I want to be held accountable to my constituents through the ballot box, not through a quango and not through the courts. And we've all seen the risks of defensive medicine when doctors do things because they risk being sued. I do not want to see defensive politics in this country. So whoever wins, whoever becomes the Speaker, is going to have to keep an eye on this bill because it affects the rights of Parliament, and the Speaker needs to be the custodian of the rights of Parliament. Yeah.